Alright, so my computer crashed and I spent about 20 minutes doing all this stuff, so I'm going to do it again, hopefully faster and not take as much time to try to explain things. So yeah, first thing I'm going to test here is with this reaction tech chase Waveland stuff that Ganon can do on Fox. We're doing it starting off at 0 because that's a pretty crucial percent. Pretty much at any game is what every game starts as, and Ganon has some interesting options that he can do from 0. So we're gonna start off with Fox DIing away and teching away, and we're gonna see how long the window is to react to something when you short hop and don't fast fall. So keep in mind, what Ganon is doing here is he does not need to dash forward or backward in any direction. He literally can just jump in place, at least at first. Like, you don't need to do anything before the jump, but you do want to make sure it's an analog jump that Gravy has said before in his Falcon video, because it applies to Ganon just as much as well. You want to hold in direction while you're in your jump squat so that you're able to have this initial momentum from jumping, so you're able to jump in a singular direction quite nicely. So I'll move forward here a little bit more. So at 0%, if Fox DIs away, and Ganon, remember this is not a frame perfect one. I didn't want to do it frame perfect on purpose. I'll show you something cool that you can do frame perfect here in a moment. But Ganon is in the air, the same frame that Fox is teching. So we're going to consider this frame 1 of being able to actually react to things. Ganon's not going to fast fall, he's not going to attack, he's not going to do anything. He's just going to count how many frames it is that Ganon is in the air while Fox is teching away at 0 from a DIY on down throw. So keep in mind, I also messed the jump up a little bit here, but Ganon is in the air for precisely 33 frames before touching the ground. So this is the first frame he's touching the ground. So he's in the air for 33 frames. 33 frames is a long time to react. That's like excessive amount to react. A fucking snail could react faster than that. So you don't need that much time, obviously. So what if you fast fall? That's probably a lot more, you know, and because Fox is, he's only he's on frame 33 when you actually touch the ground, which means he only has about 7 more frames of being vulnerable before he can move. So even just by landing or by moving or whatever, like it takes too long. You're not able to do anything guaranteed on him. So I'll pause and have Fox reset. Now we're going to fast fall this time. And I'm going to do it frame perfect so I can just kind of cut to the chase. Alright, so this is frame perfect. I dropped my controller. See, so now he's in the air 1 frame earlier. Now Ganon's going to keep moving forward while Fox is teching away. And remember, Ganon fast falls, so you want to, the nice thing about making sure the fast fall in Ganon is frame perfect is it's buffered. So if you start holding down early, like I could even hold down as early as frame 13 of his jump, and that probably still catches the buffer. But I always like to do frame 14 or 15 just to be safe. But he starts fast falling on frame 17. and he hits the ground on frame 24. So frame 23, I want to actually insert the Waveland or the air dodge. So that's perfect and completely to the horizontal side. And let's see. Nope. Oh, I messed up. Dang it. Okay, I was short by 1. Let's try this one more time. How to do this before. Watch this. Fox, I'm buffering a shield on Fox, even though this might defeat the purpose. You can grab him. If you're frame perfect. If you're absolutely frame perfect and you react in the right way and he DIs away and he techs away and you waveland perfectly, everything's perfect, you can grab him. You can straight up grab him at 0 on the regrab, which is pretty insane. But keep in mind, this is basically frame perfect. I think you have maybe 1 frame of leniency, but you can't really. It's like, I mean, if you do this at 0, that's impressive. I am legitimately impressed. Because that requires definitely at least 2 frame perfect inputs. The jumping immediately as soon as you are actionable, like literally the frame you're actionable, you're jumping, and also being frame perfect on the grab after the waveland, and also making sure your waveland. So it's actually 3 frame perfect inputs. There's a lot of frame perfect inputs to make that actually happen. It's possible, but it's unlikely to happen. So my suggestion when you're in that situation and you have to waveland, I mean, you can definitely, like, jab is guaranteed, and it's definitely not like super frame perfect to do. So you can do jab, it just won't really do much against Fox. Like, he can CC it, he can punish you for it, especially if he expects it and all that. But you can't really get anything better than that, at least anything that's guaranteed. You can try to grab him anyway if you think he's going to shield, and that could certainly work. I definitely think grab is the better punish here, because anything else is kind of a little bit too slow. Now, next I want to try Fox DIing directly behind and teching behind and seeing if bear hits. And I don't want to do like frame perfect again here. I just want to delay his jump by a frame. So yeah. So at 0%, Fox lands on the ground faster if he DIs directly behind than he would if he lands forward. So might be useful for Foxes to know that in the future. But it's very, very slight. It's only by like a few frames. So Ganon is going to backflip here, because here's the thing. When you're down throwing Fox, and if he DIs behind you, It's frame 17. You have basically have 17 frames, so you can absolutely react to what Fox, no matter what DI, and even if it's at 0, you can react to the direction that Fox DIs in from the down throw, so that you're able to actually do this jump and make sure you analog the jump in the right direction. And here's the cool thing. While you are in your down throw animation, you can hold in the direction that he's DIing in, reactionary, and you can jump just just as you're coming out of your down throw animation. And if you're a little bit late on jumping, it doesn't matter because, you know, if you turn and you jump, the jump turns you right back normally. So like that's like kind of a useful situation because you want to barrier, you don't want to turn around. You don't need to smash turn here. So I'm gonna keep going. And the latest point that Ganon can bear and it still hits is frame 21. This is pretty much when Ganon is starting to fall. Keep in mind we're not fast falling at all here. So I'm bearing, Fox is still vulnerable, and it hits. And also, since it's at 7%, Fox is at 7% when the down throw happens from a fresh down throw, and the bear is also fresh, it will knock down Fox at 7%, which is what you want. You want Fox to get knocked down. All right, so that's good to know. Now you're probably wondering, there's a harder option to probably cover, and we'll see about this one. So what if Fox does the really newbie thing of no DI and missing the tech or teching in place? Let's first try just teching in place, because that's probably, like most Foxes will just think, okay, if I just don't DI and tech in place, that's the fastest thing I can do. What is Ganon able to do? How much time does Ganon have to react to that? So let's see. So I'm not even going to touch the controller because it's going to be no DI. So Fox is just going to straight up tech in place. So again, the same frame, Ganon's in the air, Fox is teching. So let's say you're here. So this would be the point, basically, that you would want to fast fall. You saw, and remember, Ganon's not drifting forward or backwards because he saw that Fox's did not DI. He did not DI in any direction. And like I said, you can react to whatever direction that he's DIing in, because, like I said, the amount of time that Fox is moving in the air from the down throw to when you're able to act out of the down throw is 17 frames at 0%, or around 17 frames, which 17 frames is kind of low for some reaction times, but some people are able to do it, and you want to take advantage of that. So this is normally the point that you would fast fall. Because you're like, all right, well, if he does no DI and techs away or techs behind, you want to fast fall here. And this is a pretty small window to do that. So maybe you want to delay your fast fall a little bit here, which is probably a good idea. So the thing is here, if you're trying to dare, which is the only good aerial to do at this point, you're probably going to want to dare like here at this point. So you have like 17 frames to react to him teching in place and not committing to a fast fall. Keep in mind. So we're going to down air. But the problem is Fox is now able to move. So it's tricky. Like you do the same exact setup, and you're like, well, great, now Fox is gonna just shine me at this point, or roll or whatever, like he'll shine you, and you can't do anything about it. Like dare won't come out in time, and dare's the only useful aerial that will knock down Fox at 0, or after you down throw him, from 0. So you basically have to read that he's going to tech in place, which kind of sucks. Because, like I said, if you're in that position, I mean, 17 frames is already kind of low. But Fox is out. Fox is already out of his teching in place animation. Like he's able to move after frame 25 of tech in place, which that's pretty fast. So if you only have 17 frames to react, and he's out on the 25th frame, there's not a single. I mean, you could up air, but that won't knock him down. He could probably just CC. You could even nair, and that still won't knock him down. So it's like you might. So that means you probably don't want to do this reaction tech chase thing at all until at a higher percent. Because I mean, yes, you could definitely do it at 0, but it's only useful if they tech away or they tech behind. Because now you're probably wondering, okay, well, obviously this doesn't work if he techs in place. What if he just misses the tech? It's going to be kind of the same thing. So I'll show you here. All right. So let's just Fox no DI, no tech. So, okay, you can see this. So let's say there are, and while Fox is in this, downbound animation, I'm going to be holding to the left because typically when someone misses the tech, especially if it's on purpose, they're trying to buffer a roll out of it. So let's say Ganon jumps, and on frame 17, okay, he's trying to react here. And again, you're not committing to a fastfall, so that's another factor that you have to think about here. So like, okay, Ganon wants to down air. Let's try down airing him. Ganon can't even have a down air come out before Fox is invulnerable from rolling to the left or to the right or standing up. Because Fox is always going to be invincible from the first frame of doing the roll from the missed tech. And also, if he does a get up attack, you get completely countered here because not only does your dare not hit or anything, but he knocks you down with his get up attack because all get up attacks knock down at 0. No matter what, doesn't matter how heavy the character is, they always knock you down. That's in their nature. That's how they work. So yeah, Fox is gonna get out of the way. Dare won't work. Dare will literally not work because Fox will be invulnerable too quickly. Now, you're probably like, well, if I just dare instantly, then that won't happen, right? Well, that's a read. At that point, you're reading him. You're not reacting at that point. You're not, because like, it doesn't matter what Fox does other than DI. You're gonna, like, that 17 frame window, that 17 frame thing, that's gonna be the same thing every time you down throw him, pretty much. If you want this to be completely reactionary. I mean, yes, if you know he's going to tech in place or he's going to miss the tech, just go for it. Just do the dare immediately and get the maximum punish. But like if you're trying to be reactive and trying to have a consistent reaction thing, I don't suggest doing this at 0. Unless you know for a fact that they're going to tech away or tech behind, then yes, you have guaranteed follow-ups. It's actually probably the best scenario that they actually DI and tech behind you, because then Bear is really, really good at that point. But yeah, grabbing Fox at 0, you're just going, you have to make a read. Pretty much any time you grab Fox at 0, like there's nothing that you can do about it. You have to make a read, even with this whole reaction, this jumping reaction Waveland stuff. You have to make a read at that early percent. Now, on the other hand, Fox gets knocked down from up air at about, what is it again? Was it like 18%? Forgot what it was. But like, let's say let's make Fox like 22%. So we're gonna make him just dare him once. Is it 22%? This, I think, is a much better percent to start doing this reaction tech chasing stuff, because now if Fox does a tech in place or no tech, you're able to do an up air in time, or even a nair. Like, I mean, a single hit nair probably isn't the best. I mean, I think up air actually hits better. I want to actually try that. But yeah, at this point, I definitely believe that now you absolutely can very easily do the reaction tech chase to cover all 4 options and all DIs. It's at this point on Fox and probably on Falco as well. We're going to test Falco's distance that he gets on his tech roll here in a bit, but for now I just want to focus on Fox. So we're gonna do the same thing here. So I'm gonna do the same exact thing that I did, 0% with a no DI, no teching. But I'm gonna try it first with up air. Actually, I'm gonna have him tech, but I'm gonna first try this with up air. And now here's another thing though. The higher percent that Fox gets, the later that he is going to have the tech. Meaning that your window from being in the air to making a decision whether you need to fast fall in Waveland or do an aerial or whatever, it becomes smaller the higher the percent becomes. So it gets kind of tricky. You know, it's a little bit hard to explain. But you can definitely see this when Fox techs. So because like here, you don't know what direction Fox is going to tech in. He could be teching behind. He could be teching in front. He could be teching in place. You can't physically react to what he's doing right now until like 17 frames later. So again, Ganon is just going to do something here until frame 17, 18, whatever. And then he's going to up air. So he's like, okay, because he's reacted now at this point, and he sees that Fox is, he's on frame 15 of his tech in place, which this is good because it gives you more frames, vulnerability frames to do things. Maybe it is actually good. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out my ass. I don't really know for sure. I need more experiments done. But Ganon's going to up air. And I don't think he needs to fastball. Well, up air doesn't really hit. I think Ganon actually has to. Well, Ganon. Well, I mean that hit. I didn't expect that. Okay, well that hit. I don't know if Fox was vulnerable or not. I wasn't actually paying attention. Well, I'll have to just go back and look at that in the VOD. But that landed, and I don't think Fox hit frame 25 of his tech in place animation, so I think that's actually guaranteed. It's just weird because you're hitting with like the upper part of the up air hitbox. You're literally hitting with the bottom part of up air. That's kind of funny. Can you? So now I'm thinking maybe you can actually bear. Can you bear? Because like obviously, I know Nair is going to land, but I'm really wondering if Bear will hit if you just do it in place. I really doubt it. I think Fox has to DI behind and miss the tech, but that's kind of an unlikely scenario. That's very, very purposeful. So I really doubt a Bear's not gonna hit Fox here. I'll be really surprised. So I'm on frame. Oh yeah, actually, I did make a mistake. So like, I was talking about the frame that Ganon is jumping, but that's not. You're not reacting to Ganon jumping. You're reacting to Fox teching. So the reason why. Okay, so now I got it right. The reason why Fox teching at a later time is bad because the higher percent he is, this gives you less window. It's because you need to start reacting the moment Fox touches the ground. And if Fox touches the ground at a later point in time, it gives you less room. Now, of course, this changes. You can adjust to this by just simply jumping later. All you need to do is just jump at a slightly later time than you normally would, depending on the percent. And then the reaction window opens up again. But the execution window becomes very low. Your options at that point, like if he techs away and you react to that, you can fast fall Waveland, but you still won't be able to. You could pull off a grab if it's frame perfect, or you could pull off a guaranteed jab, but that's the only thing that's guaranteed. The reason you want to jump earlier than, like you don't want to be jumping, you want to be in the air before he techs, is so that yes, it's a smaller reaction window, but you're able to do more things. You're able to potentially even down tilt out of it at a higher percent. But right now I want to try bear, see what happens. So like essentially it's like right here, frame 17. This is when frame 17 of Fox's tech is when you would be like, all right, well, Fox is teched in place. Now I should bear. And keep in mind, I didn't fast fall this. And this is also like 3 frames after you would normally fast fall. So it's like if you've committed to the fast fall, the bear's not going to come out. There's just so many factors to think about here. But Ganon's going to bear. And the bear doesn't even come out for Fox. I mean, yeah, it hits, but Fox is able to do something in time. So that's not really legitimate. And then Nair... Oh, I don't know why I killed Fox twice. Does Nair even knock down? Yeah, it does. Okay. I'm dumb. Actually, if anything else, that's actually not a half bad option. Okay, hold on. Yeah, maybe Nair is actually fucking good. What if he DIs the Nair away? Because that's the tricky part, is when he DIs the Nair away. Making it as hard as possible for Ganon. First of all, will the Nair even come out? I mean, it should. It's a relatively fast move. So yeah, frame 17 again of this. Ganon is Nairing. Is Fox? Let's just say that Fox is just holding away. Okay, yeah, he can't do anything in time. Nair will definitely hit. And if he DIs away, okay, let's pretend Ganon actually I'll cancel that. Yeah, and let's say, yeah, so like that doesn't seem like a bad follow-up. I mean, it definitely knocks down. Nair knocks down. That seems pretty, like, you can follow that up, even if he DIs away. If you L cancel the Nair. Yeah, if you L cancel the Nair, you could maybe fair in time. I don't really know. I don't know exactly. Maybe I think you could fair in time. I don't want to take too much time to do this, but that's like something you might want to try yourself. But Nair definitely knocks down, so that's really, really nice. And I think Nair actually covers a variety of DIs. It covers like slightly behind DI, slightly in front DI. I think it even covers full blown in front DI, but I'm not sure if it. Well, let me see if it covers. Like, let's just pretend Fox is really smart, or really wants to try to mix you up, and he's gonna full DI behind you, but not tech it for whatever dumb reason. I'm just gonna keep experimenting. This is a big experimental video. No, come on. All right. A little forward. All right. So we're gonna have Fox hold in this opposite direction. I just want to see if Nair still hits. Actually, I mean, yeah, because what if you're reacting to Fox? Let's see. If you're reacting to Fox, well, yeah. First of all, Ganon's going to jump, and he's going to be jumping in this direction because this is the default. Because you're like, okay, I see Fox is DIing behind me. I'm going to jump backwards. All right. So Ganon is now jumping backwards, and he's doing this whole thing. Fox has teched. It's been 17 frames since he's teched, and remember he lands earlier when he DIs directly behind, so you have less time. But So let's say he reacts on frame 17, you nair. Oh, baby. That is, woo! Man, that's a tight timing, but it connects. It connects, and it's guaranteed. Alright, now you're probably thinking, well, good sir, what if Fox does the thing where he DIs behind you but techs in front? Can you still Waveland and actually grab him or do whatever the hell? Well, we'll find out. Because this is where I think the weakness of this reaction tech chasing stuff will come through. Because people will definitely DI in one direction but tech in another. That's going to be a thing that people will do. It's pretty common. So we're going to have Fox DI directly behind again. But now we're going to have Fox Tech in front. And Ganon is still jumping backwards. Fox is teching, and he is on frame 17. Okay, so here he is on frame 17. Ganon is pretty much at the apex of his jump. He's still able to fast fall. And he's like, okay, oh, whoa, I see Fox. He's teched forward. All right, let's see if he can actually make it in time. So we're going to have Ganon fast fall down, which I don't know if he lands earlier or later because of his ECB. Changing from the backflip, but I feel like he still lands on frame 24. Yeah. So, all right, so Ganon's out of his Waveland animation, but he only has 5 frames left to actually hit Fox with something. So if he jabs, the thing is, will jab reach? Yep. I mean, it reaches. Ganon's still sliding a little bit from the momentum, so jab will definitely work. So jab is definitely guaranteed. And of course, at higher percents, like I said, the higher the percent goes, the bit of, I guess, like it's like smaller window reaction to do it, but you get more options that you can do. So you can definitely get like grab becomes more guaranteed. Maybe not more consistent, but it definitely becomes more guaranteed if you don't wait to jump. It all depends on when you jump exactly, so that you can actually react to what Fox is doing. But yeah, if Fox techs forward, you can pretty much do the same thing as if he DI'd away and teched away. It's the same stuff. And I think that goes up to a pretty high percent. I don't really... because like once Fox gets to like 70 and you get a grab on him, then you really probably should try to chain grab him more than try to do this reaction tech chase stuff. So I could definitely see this as being a very viable thing to do between 20-25% and like 65 or 70%, for sure. Like definitely the lower mid range and even kind of high percentage like that. That's a huge percentage range. That works, and it works against Fox. So that's cool. And I think it's like the same thing if Fox were to DI forward and tech behind. I mean, if you get, like I said, if you can do it in one, or I don't think I said it in this video, if you can do it in one direction, you can do it in the other direction. You can do it in the opposite direction because it doesn't matter if Ganon has to Waveland and he has to turn around on the Waveland. So like, watch this. So I'm going to have him jump. Oh, I should fast fall. I'm going to have him jump, fast fall. I'm going to have him perfect Waveland to the left. And I'm going to have him hold in the direction. You're still holding the Waveland direction. And the moment you start turning, because he automatically goes into turning animation. The moment you start turning, if you attack, boom, you tack immediately in that direction. So so it's a timing thing for sure, but that's nice. So you're able to do that with attacks and grab. You can do it with attack and grab. You can't do it with jump, and you can't do it with shield, because for whatever reason, those two things don't apply to that. So that works on Fox at like... So we've basically confirmed that from 0 to 20%, you can cover tech behind and tech in front, but it's not worth it because Fox can easily get out by missing tech and teching in place. You just don't have enough time to do an aerial at that point, nor are there enough aerials that actually knock down at that percent. But once Fox is at least 20%, that's fine. I think the same thing goes for Falco as well. Falcon's a little heavier, so the percents are probably a little bit higher, and just automatically assume it's a bit higher for Falcon if you want to put him into the equation. And let's see. So, is there anything else I want to test before I go to Falco? Because I definitely want to test Falco. And I'll just go ahead and I'll just skip to the 20% thing with Falco, because if it's true for Fox, it's true for Falco pretty much almost every single time, except when it comes to tech roll distances. So let's see. Because like, let's say Fox. Let's get Fox to like a higher percent, like 58. Like 58 is pretty high, but I still think it's very viable to do things in here. I just want to. This is just purely experimental. I'm just testing this, just in case. I guess I want to test him DIing away and teching away, just to make sure. So he's gonna DI away. And is also going to jump. Okay. So remember, I jumped at the earliest interval, and this gives, like I said, this gives Ganon like 7 extra frames or 8 extra frames here to do an attack. So let's say he wants a down tilt. He can definitely pull off the down tilt, but he has less time to react to what direction Fox is teching in. So if Ganon wants to fast fall, he needs to do it now. And at this point, you only have 10 frames. You only have 10 frames. I should have been using my mouse this whole time. You only have 10 frames to react, which is basically inhuman. Like, you're reading him at this point. You're not actually reacting. Which kind of defeats the purpose, but you get to do cool shit like this. Bam! Guaranteed. Look at that shit. You can down tilt him out of that. So yeah, if you read him, you absolutely have time to down tilt. But you can't purely react. It's not really something that is going to happen. It's the amount of frames is too small. So now, of course, if you wait a little bit later to jump, you are then able to absolutely purely reaction tech chase. But if he DIs away and techs away, you're only able to get like grab or jab, which, I mean, grab is more than enough sometimes. And even jab is more than enough. Like, jab at fucking 77? Or jab at like 60 or something like that. Like, that sends Fox kind of far. Or it can send Fox pretty far. So, yeah, just get really good at doing that. Just I'm messing it up. Yeah, just get really good at doing that. Because, like, I mean, jab is always going to be guaranteed, no matter what. Doesn't matter how early you jump or how late you jump, unless you jump too late. Jab is always going to be guaranteed, so keep that in mind. Grab is very close to being guaranteed, but it's not quite unless you wait the right amount of time or jump a little bit earlier than you normally would. And then other moves like down tilt, F tilt, probably don't really want to be going beyond F tilt and down tilt, because F tilt and down tilt are pretty fast for ground moves. And now what if you don't want to Waveland and you instead want to aerial, because you see Fox is teching away and you don't want to commit to a Waveland. You don't want to do the Waveland one. Can you still connect with like a forward air at that point? Well, let's try it. I want to get him to like 66. And I'm going to... Oh, I should probably move him. Move. So I'm going to have him DI away and tech away again. What was it going to do? It's going to do... was it grab or... Oh yeah, just aerial. I'm not even going to Waveland. Yeah, just aerial. See, the thing is, though, I don't believe an aerial will hit because you do have to dash. At this point, you have to dash. And then you kind of sacrifice this whole thing about the starting default position to actually make it a reaction tech chase. Because if Ganon just straight up jumps the next frame... I mean, you're in the air. Not only that, but Ganon's about to fall, and you need to forward air like basically at the apex of his jump. So you're not reading him at this point. You're making a hard read. You're not reacting. You're making a hard read. So if you even if you forward air, it. I mean, maybe. I mean, I did it. You did it too late, and you're not reacting. You're making a read. You didn't even. And if you're going to read, you might as well just dash before you do the aerial. So, again, it defeats the purpose of trying to make this reactionary because it doesn't become reactionary anymore when you try to do an aerial. Any aerial, it doesn't matter which aerial it is. So the only time this becomes actually reactionary is if you Waveland. You can't do it from an aerial. It's just not going to happen. So every time you're like, I want to, you can only read. You can only make a read doing that. But if you do it like this, I mean, you are going to have to practice it a lot against CPUs that tech randomly so that you're prepared for pretty much anything. Because any amount of hesitation will cause you to not be able to land this. But yeah, an aerial won't connect. You have to Waveland because, well, for one, your ground, you have way more ground moves that come out faster. You have more ground moves that come out faster than your aerials. And I mean, your slow is really good ground move that's not a smash attack. That's slow as fuck, like down smash or F smash. Your like slowest ground move that's pretty good is down tilt. That's 10 frames. Yeah, see, 10 frames. So again, it's you're more reading them at that point. But like I said, grab and jab are jab is always going to be guaranteed. Grab is just like on the edge. It's on the very, very edge. It's like a gamble, like a small little gamble, like a 50-50. And I already showcased the whole tech in place, no tech thing. Nair covers that very, very well. Up air also definitely covers that. I think you have to fast fall a little bit earlier or something like that, but Nair will definitely cover it. Up air will definitely cover it. But those are like the only two aerials that will come out fast enough that actually matter because... And if they tech behind, you want to bear. You're never, so when you're reacting, you're never going to forward air, you're never going to dare. Which sucks because those are like two of Ganon's best moves, especially when it comes to tech chasing. So just keep that in mind. Maybe at like really high, like maybe if like Fox is at 70, let's see if now there's enough time to actually do a dare reactively when he touches the ground, which I really doubt. And let's God, I just really kind of doubt it because again, you're trying to jump as soon as possible, but you're not giving yourself the frame advantage if you do that. So he's gonna know. All right, Gan's gonna jump. All right, Fox is teching. And like, if you're gonna dare, you gotta do it. You gotta do it at this point, or else, it's like maybe you could like at a certain point, if I don't know. I just feel like you just have to jump earlier, or not earlier. You have to jump later than normal. Like you have to jump basically when you think Fox is about to touch the ground. So like, time it to where like right before Fox is about to land on the ground is when you jump. And then you can definitely get like the react, like that makes it way more reactable for sure. But like I said, it cuts off your options. So at this point, like it's frame 17, and Ganon he can't do any aerial at this point. There's just too much. Now if Ganon on the other hand waits for Fox to about to hit the ground, but at this point it's like Fox is in the air for so freaking long, you might as well just chain grab. Why even wait? Like look at like if he's just standing there doing nothing, literally waiting for Fox to land on the ground, you can do a bunch of different moves. Look, he's been waiting here for 8 frames. You could grab at this point. You could still grab him at that point. Like, come on. Like, why would you not? Like I said, once Fox gets to like 60, 70%, you just chain grab him. 65, like 65 I think is a little bit low. I mean 70% I think is the very comfortable, like, yeah, it's very feasible. Excuse me, it's very feasible to start chain grabbing Fox at that percent. That's when I think this reactionary tech chase stuff is pretty good. I think it's good between 20 and 70%. But like I said, you only get like 2, depending on what they DI. You get, so if they tech behind you, you get back air. If they tech in place or no tech, you get nair or up air. And if they tech in front of you, you get jab or grab. Actually, I think you might be able to. Can you actually Tomahawk grab in time? If well, yeah. I mean, if I mean the better option instead of grabbing when they go behind is to bair, obviously, because bair is way more guaranteed and just it's a great move. But yeah, what if they tech in? What if Fox techs in place? Shit, I'm forgetting what I. Shit, I'm forgetting what I was trying to say. Fox techs in place. Not an aerial. Oh yeah, if you can Tomahawk grab. So let's get Fox back up to like 66 or so. Alright, so yeah, he's gonna. Well, if he misses, the problem with the Tomahawk grab is it won't cover tech in play. It won't cover miss tech. The up air and the nair covers both miss tech and tech in place. The Tomahawk grab only covers tech in place. So, but if you react to tech, I think that's still too slow. So, like, let's try it. And we're not delaying our jump here, so like this whole delay jump thing is weird. Oh, wait. I didn't jump. Okay. Weird. Okay. I messed up. Alright, let's try this again. There we go. Alright. So let's say we're in the air. And again, like, this is not really reactable, but okay, we're going to fastball now. And that's right, I have to wait a few frames. Yeah, it's just, no. It's just not a thing. You can't really do that. So let me get Fox again. Actually, I think we'll just do like 44 and then I'll like, do like a F tilt or something. All right, 55. That's actually a pretty good percent. So we're gonna wait purposely. We're gonna like estimate here. We're gonna wait to jump till right before Fox actually lands on the ground. So we think Fox is gonna land like here. So all right. All right, we're a little bit late on that jump, which means it probably will be too late. But we see here Fox on frame 17, which I'm assuming is like the reaction window, like, oh, Fox is teched in place. Or let's say in frame 19, even a little later than that. Ganon nairs, it won't, like, Fox will be able to, you know, power shield that. That was because we jumped a few frames too late. Like, it's very tight. It's a very tight timing because, like I said, it's specifically 17 frames. If you go anything higher than 17 frames, it becomes just even harder and tighter at that point. And some people don't have a 17 frame reaction time. But, like, that's, like, a thing that you can do, I guess. And yeah, it is an estimate. So you're basically going... It's just, you need to practice it, like, so much for it to work. And then, like, then you're probably thinking, like, well, if Fox is at, like, 69 or something like that, what if he DIs behind? Can you down tilt? I just want to test this. If he DIs behind, can I down tilt in time? Technically, yes. Yeah, you can. It's not easy though, but you can. And so it's like, it's probably just better at that point. Like I said, once Fox gets to like 70%, there's almost no, like, there's better, easier options to do than the whole reaction tech chase thing. All right, I've talked a lot, lots on Fox. Now I'm gonna go to Falco. So, Falco. Can the same things happen to him? Let's see. Alright. So we're gonna just get him to 22. And we're just gonna have him tech, like, just because the furthest away that he'll tech, if he can't reach when he does DI away and tech away, then it won't be able to reach if he does like DI behind then tech away or whatever. And then I'll try to see if Bear hits if he does DI behind and tech behind at this point. So yeah. Ganon is in the air. Yeah, at this point, I still think you're reading. Yeah, you can grab him. You can still grab him. Again, it's more of a read. But, I mean, jab is definitely more reactionary. It's just, I just feel like this is just, it's hard, but no excuses. You know, no excuses about something being difficult. You just have to practice this, like, very, very frequently. You have to basically practice this every day. Every day. At the percents of, like I said, it's not really worth it to try to do this at 0 because if he techs in place or misses the tech, you can't. There's nothing you can do to cover it. So now I want to see if back air will reach. This is the thing I think we'll miss with Falco. Let's move a little bit more forward. So DI behind, tech behind. She's teching behind. And... nope. Falco tech's a little bit too far. Okay, so that's the only thing that doesn't work. If he DIs behind and he techs, well, you can't hit with Bear, then you have to do a Waveland. A Waveland will definitely catch up to him at that point. But a Bear, just a raw Bear won't. So a Bear will work on Fox, a Bear will not work on Falco because his tech roll is long as hell. That's the only situation that I see that Falco's tech roll is actually good for him, because then he doesn't get hit by that Bear, but like it's very minor. Like you can still do the jab and grab thing. Like I think just the fact that grab is actually a pretty viable option from the short hob Waveland, like as an actual reactionary thing that you can do. It's so close. I think that's very, very viable. And then you can, like, I don't know, you can keep reaction tech chasing from that point on. I'm just missing all the Wavelands. And alright, yeah, like that. Whatever, no one wants to watch that shit. So yeah, it's the same thing. Like I said, Bear's the only thing that doesn't work on Falco. With this just pure reactionary tech chase stuff. So then that kind of begs the question, so what's a better thing to do against Fox and Falco between the percents of 0 and 20? Well, I mean, you only need to hit them like once or twice to even get them to that percent. It's like, in my opinion, don't be super committal in neutral, like when they are at that low of a percent, when they're between 0 and 20. Like grabs are nice, but if you only really can get a grab in neutral against Fox or Falco if you basically make a read on them. Like if you are gonna short hop Waveland towards them and then get a grab like that, that's a very hard read to get. And like I said, if you're gonna do that, you then your follow up has to be a read as well. So it just seems kind of pointless if you're trying to do the reaction tech chase. So it's better to just play passively, do like retreating bears that auto cancel. Like you only need to hit twice with a bear, and that are definitely over 20%, even 30% at that point. Maybe like you can try doing like a full hop dare. Like a full hop dare, I think is actually really, really good in a lot of situations. Up air at a shield, you know, like you just want to play defensive and you want to really, because like it's kind of like what Link needs to do. Like Link doesn't really want to be committal on his stuff until like 40% because Fox and Falco can CC pretty much everything Link does until 40%. So Ganon, yeah, you basically, you're trying to like nickel and dime Fox and Falco until 20%, but like I said, you do that in like 2 to 3 moves. So just do your reactive neutral stuff. Do your auto cancel bears into jabs or F tilts. Like it's just do that stuff, and then once you get to 20%, then you can definitely start going for the grabs. I think absolutely at that point you just have a whole arsenal of grab things that you can do, and then once they're at like 70%, you can just go for the chain grab. Like I feel like that's kind of like the flow chart punishment way that Ganon can do this. You know, it's just someone's got to really, really practice this to make sure that it works. Yeah, that's well, nothing crashed, nothing broke, nothing went wrong. I might have rambled on for quite some time. This is probably like a 25-minute video. And it's a lot longer than it needs to be, but I mean, I get my point across, I think. If you watch the whole video, then you're probably an extreme Ganon nerd like I am, or you're in the Ganon Discord or something like that. Before I end it, though, I do want to definitely shout out Kiko Man for being the guy that's been talking about this a ton in the Discord and maybe actually want to do this whole testing thing. So thanks for bringing that up. I mean, it's been mentioned before by like Ace and several other people. Like I think even Pseudo Turtle mentioned it, but I mean, I never bothered to try to actually see if it's applicable, and it is. Thankfully, the nice thing is it is. You just don't have a lot of options. out of it, but it is applicable in some form or matter. I'm sorry this video is like messy. It was very improvised, and I'm not really caring to edit anything out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you later.